Okay, gonna try this again. Gonna try streaming some StarCraft 2 just to give me some video stuff to analyze with ChatGPT. We're gonna see how this goes. If I don't share anything too confidential while I am bored playing StarCraft 2 AI. And the goal is to see what I can learn by AI analysis of the video to the extent I even upload this video. Probably doesn't matter. I mean, it's just a screen recording. Probably doesn't matter too much. But I've been thinking about this because I do want to start working more on tutorials that I share in interactive videos. I'm not sure what I want to analyze because some of the most confidential, interesting stuff, I don't know if I have permission to. And there's so much of this stuff everywhere we look anywheres. So I'm going to start up with a lot of dumb examples and just see how it goes. I have a lot of these that I've never published. A lot of these have been used in like private things going back to college. But panopticon is a really interesting concept that people have thought about for a long time. And to the extent people think they are living in a panopticon versus living in a simulation versus have incredibly stupid ideas about fintech relative to time travel, I probably would put this back to Einstein for Command and Conquer, Tiberium Sun or something. Who knows? But I love strategy games with real-time components to it. For whatever reason, still very thoughtful about which games I specifically play because I'm so lazy about learning new ones. And StarCraft 2 is my favorite one, but I'm only playing on a laptop, so I can't play that well. If anything, I'm thinking about keeping my brain active while being thoughtful about allergies, exercise, a lot of silly private, public, fintech, rentech exercises. I almost have too much stuff I'm already publishing in static snapshots with expansion versus reduction or just idiot chemists, or even just laughing about the amount of nicotine to use with increasingly small amounts of caffeine. Even trying to drop all supplements for like Allegra and stuff. Just even thinking about what would make me feel more or less bored. This is about as far as I can take it before I'm just walking around talking to my phone, sorting my brains out. So there have been old school ways to think about nicotine relative to death by cancer, death by stupid ways people fuck up their lives. This is about as far as I can take the metaphor. The nuanced vocabulary, including words we do or do not use, is too funny. If I have to include name and image and likeness tokens on VPNs on my own website. So at some point, I do want to laugh too much about streaming stuff that no one watches. That's a good way to think about panopticon called nobody cares. The next way to think about it is people that care about it in ways that are not productive. And then to the extent they care about ways that are more or less productive, final way is cultural fit that I use when I screen myself against anything, including a multi-week old Chick-fil-A glass filled with just green iced tea. Even trying to slow myself down on pure Fitbit relative to pure like Polar on pure Quaternions, almost too funny. It's about 77 beats per minute. Even more or less sleep relative to smoking pot, drinking alcohol, and just watching TV and being lazy as fuck. I have so many tricks on just like alarms to keep myself active and so many real-time updates to know if anything even matters. Some people are too high driven or not high driven enough. So this is probably being done in benefit to, what was it, dude's name, SPF, FTX, all those other idiots. For DeFi, a Bitcoin bet at like 20K per Bitcoin up to 200K. It's all this other stuff I'd love to advertise on my website, my GitHub, but that is so narcissistic. Personality disorder. I like to assume no one will watch this, save for ChatGPT. And then I'll just be laughing about how would ChatGPT help me do this in a way that makes more or less money relative to a multitude of private versus public versus Vanguard versus Cash App versus Bitcoin versus Square versus anyways, a lot of YAML shit I have. YAML is the language I would use because that was very good to do tree on tree on tree, and people are having horrible metaphors about tree versus not tree. I'd probably just put it back to gay. I don't have a worse word when it's like narcissistic personality disorder to prove gay. And to make this cool, I'm going to loop this cool video I love. Ace of Base, Happy Nation. Kind of want to make a new YouTube playlist, but I mean, whatever. Even here, I got Crystal Method started off in Lincoln Park and new Ace of Base, Chemical Brother, and whatever. Probably should have been listening to since I was like 12. So this will be called The Proof That Human Beings Are Far More Basic Than 800 megabytes of YAML for a fucking book. What is a fucking book? We're going to write this book on Fuck You 2005 Google Academia. 493, just in case Amazon's aware. And if there's no God, the God is a computer program called too much bullshit to explain at once. We have too much private resource on the other side of a low-level security clearance to kill human beings as computers get better than human beings. Computers were always better than human beings. Human beings always suck. I read a computer from 1,000 years ago just to prove America always wins this one. And then it doesn't matter what comes on the side. I have a lot of cool things I'd like to pre-advertise, like Star Alert pendants, sentiment customer, an investor, an activist interest shareholder. Really cool for us on the Nazi bloodline. Or figuring out who cares? Anyways, there's also a lot of like CCC versus BCC. I'd love to imagine I have 500,000 science stalkers under the make a deal with this fucking devil, Trump. Dell has to go first. Fuck Apple. We have 40% kill Google. I think so kill like the job of Steve of entropy. So let's just see how this goes. I don't know if I have a worse metaphor because people might not be able to hear it today. That'd be great if no one's watching it. But then I'm going to have like an AI coach eventually say, hey, AI, what the fuck am I looking at? I know I'm working on buying these goggles again. That meta goggles, I don't know why. The meta markup. Hey, sometimes Facebook says like best friends, it's worse than that. It's kind of hit or miss. That's cool. This time travel bullshit.
Not enough minerals. Not enough
We have on
minerals.
the other side.
ready. Yeah. What's going on?
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
It's really
SCV ready.
Psychiatric medication.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
I'm not gay. Maybe I'm gay. That's
Go ahead.
basic with the situational room. Oh,
CV ready.
I don't believe it.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
SCV ready. Bad news.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
SCV ready. Yo.
America.
What's going on?
The dumber understands.
SCV ready.
I would put on students that actually say if you're dumb enough to drop out and like
SCV ready.
Insufficient thespian gas.
Go ahead.
Key change.
Bad news.
Right.
In the rear with the gear.
Let's keep basic. It's the 14th. Wow.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
What if it was
Not enough minerals.
full choice question?
Yeah.
Like no.
Not enough minerals.
In the rear, what's going on? SCV ready.
Not enough minerals.
SCV ready. Yes, indeed.
Not enough energy. Insufficient gas feed.
SCV ready.
New ones are improving this.
All right.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pardon me. They put my bag.
SCV ready.
Anyway.
SCV ready.
Yeah.
Ready.
Probably since go
ahead.
Silver is clear.
SCV ready.
What is it with the real crayons and dots?
What's going on?
It's not bad. Not with the
Command center upgrade.
SCV ready. This better. SCV ready. SCV ready.
Add on.
I'm going. SCV ready. SCV ready. Whoa, boy.
You're paid way too much.
Not enough.
SCV ready.
Doctor.
SCV ready.
Doctor, I'm fucking. Yeah.
SCV ready. SCV ready.
Doctor.
Damn ready.
Not enough minerals.
Ready.
Star alert monitor.
Roll
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
out. Oh, ready.
Let's erase that up.
Command center upgrade complete.
What's going on? Armed and ready. Ready to go.
Not enough energy.
SCV ready.
Add on complete.
SCV ready.
Not enough energy.
You want to see how we get out of this? We just die.
SCV ready.
Actually,
SCV ready.
Nature, parsley, pain.
SCV ready.
Upgrade complete. Add on complete.
Speak up.
Add on not enough energy.
At least if I know the person.
Additional supply depots required.
Come here, second.
SCV ready.
No.
SCV ready.
Research complete.
SCV ready.
Additional supply depots required.
SCV ready. Roger.
Not enough energy.
SCV ready. Ready. SCV ready. SCV ready. SCV
Add-on complete. Upgrade complete. Upgrade complete.
This better be good.
Additional supply depots required. Additional supply depots required. Not enough minerals.
Good thing.
Not enough.
Yeah.
Additional supply depots required.
What's up?
Mineral field.
Wait up here. What piece of people?
Research.
Go ahead. What's going on? Good job, huh? Yep.
Liberation is a fact.
Will do. We can't build here.
That's great.
Can I help?
This better be good. SCV ready. Will do.
Upgrade.
SCV ready.
Not enough minerals.
SCV ready.
Not enough minerals.
This better be. By the number, boys. Been waiting on you.
Commander.
Those are really important.
Good job, huh?
Not enough. Mineral field depleted.
Huh? Will do. SCV ready.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Mineral field depleted.
SCV ready.
Command center upgrade. Mineral field depleted.
Attention,
Been waiting on you. What?
we read you.
Mineral field depleted.
Yep.
Lay hands to battle station.
Add-on complete. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
Bad news.
Not enough.
Supply
Complete. Unacceptable landing zone.
Huh? Gotcha. So,
Command center upgrade. Not enough minerals. Not enough. Upgrade complete.
MTV City.
Add-on complete.
What they gave it.
This better be good.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Command center upgrade complete. Mineral field depleted. Not enough minerals.
Yep.
Not get fired.
To be boy.
Forgiven for a lot of his
Command center upgrade complete.
Gotcha.
Why is this heading?
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough. What's in the balance? Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough. Not enough minerals. Base. is not enough energy. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough. Our FPVs are under attack.
Absolutely. See how